Until the repast was half over, neither the man nor any one of the damsels spoke a single word to me. But when the man perceived that it would be more agreeable to me to converse than to eat any more, he began to enquire of me who I was. I said I was glad to find that there was some one who would discourse with me, and that it was not considered so great a crime at that court for people to hold converse together. Chieftain, said the man, we would have talked to thee sooner, but we feared to disturb thee during thy repast. Now, however, we will discourse. Then I told the man who I was, and what was the cause of my journey, and said that I was seeking whether any one was superior to me, or whether I could gain the mastery over all. The man looked upon me, and he smiled, and said, if I did not fear to distress thee too much, I would show thee that which thou seekest. Upon this I became anxious and sorrowful, and when the man perceived it, he said, if thou wouldst rather that I should show thee thy disadvantage than thine advantage, I will do so. Sleep here tonight, and in the morning arise early, and take the road upwards through the valley, until thou reachest the wood through which thou camest hither. A little way within the wood thou wilt meet with a road branching off to the right, by which thou must proceed, until thou comest to a large sheltered glade, with a mound in the centre. And thou wilt see a black man of great stature on the top of the mound. He is not smaller in size than two of the men of this world. He has but one foot and one eye in the middle of his forehead. And he has a club of iron, and it is certain that there are no two men in the world who would not find their burden in that club. And he is not a comely man, but on the contrary, he is exceedingly ill favoured. And he is the woodward of that wood. And thou wilt see 1,000 wild animals grazing around him. Enquire of him the way out of the glade, and he will reply to thee briefly, and will point out the road by which thou shalt find that which thou art in quest of. And long seemed the night to me. And the next morning I arose, and equipped myself, and mounted my horse, and proceeded straight through the valley to the wood, and I followed the cross road which the man had pointed out to me, till at length I arrived at the glade. And there was I 3 times more astonished at the number of wild animals that I beheld, than the man had said I should be. And the black man was there, sitting upon the top of the mound. Huge of stature as the man had told me that he was, I found him to exceed by far the description he had given me of him. As for the iron club, which the man had told me was a burden for 2 men, I am certain, Kai, that it would be a heavy weight for 4 warriors to lift. And this was in the black man's hand. And he only spoke to me in answer to my questions. Then I asked him what power he held over those animals. I will show thee, little man, said he. And he took his club in his hand, and with it he struck a stag a great blow, so that he brayed vehemently, and at his braying the animals came together as numerous as the stars in the sky, so that it was difficult for me to find room in the glade to stand among them. There were serpents and dragons, and divers sorts of animals. And he looked at them, and bade them go and feed. And they bowed their heads, and did him homage, as vassals to their lord. Then the black man said to me, "Seest thou now, little man, what power I hold over these animals?" Then I enquired of him the way, and he became very rough in his manner to me. However, he asked me whither I would go. And when I had told him who I was, and what I sought, he directed me. "Take," said he, "that path which leads towards the head of the glade, and ascend the wooded steep until thou comest to its summit. And there thou wilt find an open space, like to a large valley, and in the midst of it a tall tree, whose branches are greener than the greenest pine trees. Under this tree is a fountain, and by the side of the fountain a marble slab, and on the marble slab a silver bowl, attached by a chain of silver, so that it may not be carried away. Take the bowl, and throw a bowlful of water upon the slab, and thou wilt hear a mighty peal of thunder, so that thou wilt think that heaven and earth are trembling with its fury. With the thunder there will come a shower so severe, that it will be scarcely possible for thee to endure it and live. And the shower will be of hailstones. And after the shower the weather will become fair, but every leaf that was upon the tree will have been carried away by the shower. Then a flight of birds will come and alight upon the tree, and in thine own country thou didst never hear a strain so sweet as that which they will sing. And at the moment thou art most delighted with the song of the birds, thou wilt hear a murmuring and complaining coming towards thee along the valley. And thou wilt see a knight upon a coal black horse, clothed in black velvet, and with a pennon of black linen upon his lance. He will ride unto thee to encounter thee with the utmost speed. If thou fleest from him, he will overtake thee, and if thou abidest there, as sure as thou art a mounted knight, he will leave thee on foot. And if thou dost not find trouble in that adventure, thou needst not seek it during the rest of thy life." So I journeyed on, until I reached the summit of the steep, and there I found everything as the black man had described it to me. And I went up to the tree, and beneath it I saw the fountain, and by its side the marble slab, and the silver bowl fastened by the chain. Then I took the bowl, and cast a bowlful of water upon the slab, and thereupon, behold, the thunder came, much more violent than the black man had led me to expect, and after the thunder came the shower. And of a truth I tell thee, Kai, that there is neither man nor beast that could endure that shower and live. For not one of those hailstones would be stopped either by the flesh or by the skin until it had reached the bone.